I always thought a mother's love was unconditional, but after what happened in my family, I'm not so sure anymore. My name is Luis, I'm 23 years old, and I grew up as my mom's only child until she decided to adopt a 10-year-old boy named Matthias when I was 16. At first, I was excited. I thought it would be great to have a younger brother to share things with. But everything changed quickly. My mom started treating Matthias like he was the perfect child. If he had problems at school, she defended him. If I had problems, she told me it was my fault. On Christmas, the best gifts were always for him. She even canceled my 18th birthday party because Matthias caught a mild cold. The last straw was a few weeks ago. I told my mom I was planning to move out because I felt like I wasn't welcome anymore. And she said, "If that's what you want, go ahead. But don't do this to Matthias. He needs a family more than you do." Excuse me? I'm her biological son. Now I'm seriously considering cutting ties with my mom because it's clear she prefers Matthias. It hurts because I feel like I'll never get back the place I once had in her life. What would you do in my place? Is my mom the one at fault, or am I the one who doesn't understand? Part 2. After deciding to move out, I couldn't help but feel a huge emptiness. My mom didn't try to stop me, and Matthias didn't even seem to notice I was leaving. But the worst part came weeks later. I found out from a cousin that my mom had been telling the family I was selfish for not wanting to live with Matthias. According to her, Luis was always jealous because he didn't want to share my love. I decided to confront her. When I walked into the house, I noticed that almost all the family photos of me were gone. In their place were pictures of Matthias in the living room, kitchen, even in my old bedroom. I asked her directly why she was erasing me from the family, and she said, "Luis, you've always been independent. Matthias never had anyone, and he needs to feel like part of this family." That broke me. I told her, "What about me? Am I not part of this family?" But all she could say was that Matthias needed her support more, and that I should understand if I truly loved her. From that day on, I completely distanced myself. I moved to another city, and while I felt free at first, holidays and birthdays weighed heavily on me. I kept wondering if my mom realized how much damage she had done, or if she genuinely believed Matthias was more important than me. Recently, my grandmother called. She told me my mom had been trying to reach out because Matthias was going through some issues and needed my support. Seriously? Now that she needs me, she remembers I exist? I don't know what to do. Part of me wants to go back and fix things, but another part is tired of feeling like a stranger in my own family. What would you do? Would you forgive her or let her go? Part 3. Final. After my grandmother's call, I spent days thinking about what to do. A part of me was furious. I couldn't believe that. After everything that happened, my mom only reached out because Matthias was having problems. But another part of me couldn't ignore the fact that, in the end, she's still my mom. I decided to return home, but only if we had an honest conversation about everything. When I got there, the house felt different. Matthias greeted me shyly, and my mom's eyes were red, like she'd been crying. We sat down in the living room, and for the first time in years, she spoke without making excuses. "Luis, I know I failed you. I thought I was doing the right thing by giving Matthias what he never had, but I didn't realize I was losing you in the process." Her words surprised me, but I couldn't ignore the pain she'd caused. I told her, "It wasn't just about Matthias, Mom. It was about how you made me feel invisible, like I didn't matter." She cried and apologized, explaining that her guilt over Matthias's situation had blinded her. She said she thought I was strong and didn't need her as much, but now she realized how much damage she had done. I also talked to Matthias. I told him how I felt, and to my surprise, he apologized too. "I never wanted you to feel like that, Luis. I just wanted to have a family." At that moment, I understood that Matthias wasn't to blame either. I decided to forgive them, but with clear boundaries. I told my mom that our relationship would take time to heal and that I needed her to prove she was truly committed to changing. Matthias and I started fresh, this time as brothers, not rivals. Today, I'm rebuilding my life, far from all the drama, but maintaining a healthier connection with my family. I've learned that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means finding peace to move forward. What about you? Do you think I made the right choice by giving them a second chance?